Hello everyone and welcome to the second episode of Warlocks Play Orcs Must Die. This is Pickles returning for your second episode, and as a recap of something I took care of between episode 1 and 2, I realized after the fact that I didn't reach 5 stars on that last episode, Runner's Alley. I went ahead and took care of that. Just needed a couple extra points in score, so I played a little bit more efficiently, spent a little bit more time focusing on the game and not talking to all you fine folks, and just picked up that extra skull there. Anyway, we're ready to begin with the next level, Overpass, right now. So we're picking up barricades. Barricades are a 2x2 block that prevent orcs from passing through. As you can see with that fancy drawing there on screen, they can be destroyed over time, so it's important to still leave the orcs a way to go through to get to the rift. If you don't, they'll sit there and they'll start bashing on it, and if I recall correctly, a destroyed barricade does not come back during the main respites that happen, which makes them unlike guardians, which do come back during that time period. So they can be used to enhance strategies and to help direct traffic flow, but please don't...
Another attack where our defenses are thin? If I didn't know better, I'd think the orcs were learning.
But don't... the war mage here interrupted me. Don't use them to completely block off any areas, or the orcs will bash through, and you'll be wasting that. You'll be wasting that coin. You'll notice also that the character has a different skin. This is one of the DLC skins. It's kind of a cool one, and I don't remember how I got it, but it is a cool one. Alright, so we got 2 gates. This one, we have orcs coming in here. We have a portal. This will take you pretty much right to the rift. So this would be something to not let orcs use. Yes, they can use them. Let's see, they can also go the long way around. Let's see, we have a lot of room for wall-based traps, like arrow traps here. A little bit on the ceiling as well. Let's see, we do have space up there, and it looks like... Yeah, it looks like if they go up this way, here's how they access that spot. Let's see, my thinking... We don't really have any good ceiling traps yet. We'll get those later on. We could use 2 barricades. Let's see, let's go ahead and let's put some barricades up just to illustrate. We can put barricades here. And what that effectively means is that those orcs, you know, they'll see that they're going this way and won't be able to keep going. So as that little arrow or that line of energy indicates, they'll have to come all the way up this way. Now they won't be jumping down there or here, which is a good thing. It does mean that they'll have to come down here, and they'll have a pretty easy access to the rift. Alternatively, if we want to let them go through this direction, we would have to do is block off this section. And it looks like that would take less barricades to do. So we can put one here. Nah, I think it's going to take the same amount because they can still get through that way. Let's see. Let's put one here.
Here, orky,
Here.
orky, orky.
And here. And the reason being is we can put some archers back here, and they can shoot orcs go in that direction, and it also protects this portal here. Now the orcs do have kind of a straight shot going this way, But this wall right here is a great place for arrow traps, and they'll effectively leave this portal alone, but we can jump back and forth as we need to. Alright, well, let's go ahead. Oh, so I have messed that one up. Let me restart the level. So apparently once you place your first traps, it blocks you from opening up your spellbook. That makes sense. So, sorry about that, folks. At least the strategy's out of the way. So we'll be able to get right into gameplay pretty soon. We're going to use some arrow traps. We'll use these. And no tar traps. Do we want to use shock zappers?
Another attack where our defenses are thin? If I didn't know better, I think the orcs were learning.
We can definitely use these acid pits to our advantage as well with that wind belt. And I think that might be the strategy to use at the very beginning when we don't really have a whole lot of traps and I'll have spent most of my coin on those barricades that keep the orcs focused towards me. So that sounds good. So let's go ahead and lock ourselves in here. So we have the 1,
Set it and forget it.
2, and 3 right there. I realized after, while the game was loading, this is a better configuration. And let's go ahead and put 1. Let's see, how far does that stretch? That does not stretch far enough to matter. Nor would any of that. Okay, let's go ahead and put 1 right here as a sort of helper. And we're ready to go.
They're breaking through!
Get going!
Get it for pleasure. Bye-bye, guys. So that just happened.
Orcs were a little thicker there than I thought they'd be. But we do have some money for an archer. I did mention near the beginning that kobolds were hard to hit with bows. They still are. Right there. So I tend to place archers a little slowly because I want the maximized density. I want as many arrows coming out of that little pocket as possible.
You stepped on my foot.
They're up above.
So I may need to readjust. I need to readjust those barricades because apparently some orcs got through.
Stay out of my mind.
Either that.
Yes.
That's very curious.
The voices, they hurt.
Okay, that was curious. So what probably happened is blowing them this way got them through those pillars, which is a bit of a mistake, but I'll be more careful about that next time. Anyway, we have money enough for some extra archers, so let's go ahead and place some down.
Give me a direction.
But we'll put 1 more here when I have money, and then we'll actually put a couple back here when we have even more funding. That's going to take a little while though. So we'll just go ahead and keep grinding. Same tactic as before, just more orcs to deal with.
Give for pleasure.
I let a couple get through. That's fine. Arrow trap takes care of them. And a liberal application of the arrows to the face.
Ah, look who has no arm.
I want to go home.
Ah, look who has no arm.
So, it looks like we have an orc that might be stuck inside the acid pit. Yep, there he is.
Yes!
Got him. And sometimes that happens. It's a bit of a problem unique to the acid pits.
Show me the terrain.
My archers aren't going to quite get everyone, so let's drop down. Oh, looks like they did. That's okay.
That one's for you, old man.
You know what's great too is I can actually put some more archers up there. This is a very nice level to have archers on because there's so many places for them to shoot from, and not really have to deal with the repercussions of, you know, orcs
Give me a direction.
getting in the way. So we'll go ahead and stand up here and we'll see what happens. Get some more sniping done. Oh, I just love watching those guys work. Later on,
A little present for you. Good times.
later on we will have access to upgrades for those spells. One of which will make the orcs fly a lot further, which will make dealing with that section easier.
Time.
Now we don't have to worry about it, because that's the end of that particular level. That one was fairly easy. We got 5 stars, so it's time to get some upgrades. And so we have 14 on the dot, which is enough to pick up an upgrade either for the archers, making them cheaper, and considering my overall strategies, that's never a bad thing, or an improved barricade, which makes barricades cheaper. Again, considering the way I do my strategies, that's never a bad thing. Generally, I will always take barricades. I may not always take archers as one of my options. Funneling enemies towards things like the floor burners or down paths like the extended arrow walls like to do. That's a good thing. So we're gonna go ahead and grab this upgrade, and we'll save up for the archers later. All right, this one we get the spring trap. And the way this one works is an orc steps on it, and it flings them. It flings them quite a bit of distance, and it flings them over things like barricades and small walls and such. If you can fling them into traps or off cliffs or whatnot, it's fun times.
Twin Halls, one of the oldest of the Rift fortresses. The paladins say this place is haunted. I don't know about that, but it sure could use a good dusting.
Okay, so we have a lot of room to do what I was talking about there with the spring traps. That's going to take quite a bit of coin to actually accomplish that kind of strategy, though. They're a little expensive, and they don't take up too much space. They're a 2x2 trap, like everything pretty much else is. We do have room for archers up here. We have some overhangs that they might be good at. That might be something to do in the future, however. We also have this back area where orcs can come up through here, and they won't be able to get down this way. Again, orcs don't pathfind over cliffs, but if we can channel them from one direction over, barricade here to protect any future archers that might pop up, that'll allow us to funnel all of the orcs from both doors down one path and focus our defenses. I think that's a pretty good idea. So we'll go ahead and grab the barricades and archers like normal. Definitely need some arrow walls. Arrow walls are good to, put down channels like this. Sorry folks, minor interruption. Let's see. We did want to try that spring trap idea, so we have that. Oh, we did pick up an extra slot, so we still have room for things. Let's see. Spike traps are always useful in emergencies. I do like those floor burners. Those are always good. We do have some overhangs. Let's load up the zapper, and if we have a chance to use it, awesome. If not, that'll be fine. One slot's not too big of a deal. We do have a new enemy in this one, ogres. These guys are kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. They're big, they're heavy, they're nasty, they smell bad. Nobody likes them. So, okay, so we're gonna barricade off this area. And I'm going to check these little energy things. Yep, so they turn, which means they're going to go this way. And you'll notice that it didn't turn here. It path-found all the way down there. This gives us a place where we can start our defenses, because no matter which direction they come from, they'll get funneled through here. So let's go ahead and grab...
That's going to leave a mark.
Some
this won't hurt
wall traps, and we can do that one there, but it's not going to be terribly effective, and we can't place one here because of the angle, so this is pretty much the only defense we'll have for that section. We can create a bit of a crossfire here for the really nasty big ones. I'm not going to worry about that right now, though. What I think I'm going to do is set up a burner to cover, let's see, to cover right here. So when they trigger it,
this'll be fun.
It'll burn them, hopefully. Let's put it up here. So it'll burn them, hopefully, before they hit these. And that's pretty much the rest of my coin for now. You'll notice that there's some boom barrels. You actually can move them. And you can sprint with them, and you can go through portals with them. So they're useful in an emergency, or potentially near the beginning of the game. Alright, let's see where they come from. Ah, I was right, they come from this side.
Here they come!
And that's how effective boom barrels are. Quite. So in hindsight, maybe the wind belt would have been a good idea. But we're managing.
Ooh, brutal!
Okay, so they'll probably come through the other side this time, but we still want to focus on this area as far as defenses go. Let's see, archers yet? No, we don't need archers yet. Let's go ahead and put some of these up though. I should have put it in the middle. That's okay.
They're in the West Hall.
For me, bro. Feet in pain. It's a trust. Off my feet.
That's gotta hurt.
Keep moving. Forward.
In your face.
I don't want to go first.
Booyah!
Alright, they may come through both this time. How about let's see what some traps do, like this. These are always fun. We'll put it here. And we'll put another one here. Oh, nope, they're coming through the other side. That's okay. We'll make do.
You are in my way, Axeman. Why me? Good going. There's the
And the longer I can keep a couple of them distracted, the fewer come over this way. Better for a long-term strategy.
The voices, they hurt. I want to go home. Stay out of my mind! Stupid! Careful! There's blocks! Voices mistress! Go! Go! I'll stay back here. Time?
Lightning damage is pretty strong. Okay. Yeah, those lightning zappers are really strong. Let's go ahead and center place them, though.
This will be good.
Keep it a little bit more relevant. And we'll put one here.
A little
and
present
one
for
here
you,
as well.
one for you, and one for you.
Let's see. Historically, I always put arrow walls alongside these. I mean, they seem like logical places to put them, but a lot of the faster mobs just run through them, so that's not as useful. So I'm thinking we just kind of do a row right here, see what hits it. Let's see. This might be better. There we go. Eventually, especially if you end up picking up a lot of gold coins, you could just fill this entire area with these suckers, and it's just a death trap for everywhere. To it. Let's ignore that for a second.
An
Since
ogre.
the barricades are there.
That's a
Ah,
surprise.
crap.
Since when do orcs and
And we'll
ogres
see how
work
those work.
together? Okay, let's rumble, big fella.
Alright, now you can see how big of a problem ogres are. There we go. Now one thing that is nice about ogres is they always drop gold coins.
What a mess! Sweet!
Okay, that was a bit of a problem. Let's go ahead and put a couple more here. Now you notice the ogres were not
This'll be
affected
fun.
by these. Eventually you can upgrade them so that they are affected. That won't happen for a while though. Let's watch.
One forward! I'm in fire! Get out of my head! Get going!
When this is done, sure.
Voices hurt! Go that way!
Brain thingy.
So I am running quite low. Let's see, are there any? No, there's no potions.
Get your ass out of my way!
Bye-bye, evil guys.
Don't cross for me, bro! I go back!
Bye-bye.
Off my foot! He goes, mistress! Go, now! My feet hurt!
Ooh, that could have been bad.
Keep moving! I want to go home!
Yeah, that could have definitely been bad. So these are useful, but we're going to want more of them. We also could start using those archers. So I'm going to go ahead and put some here.
Give me a direction, sir. Show me the target. Give me a direction.
And then in case orcs decide, let's see, like I guess they can walk up that way, so that's not good. The barricade up there if it's a problem. I don't think it'll be a problem. Also barricade there and put some archers here. Could definitely put some archers here though.
My bow is yours. Give me a direction.
Okay, we'll put some more archers down that way. What do we have, buddy? Now, one thing that is a bit of a problem with this strategy is if those orcs drop any pickups, we don't get them because
Ah! I'm allergic to flames!
well, they're
Get out of humans! What way now? Don't push me, bro! Out of the way! Get out of my head! I stay out here! Michael last, kid! Hey, not funny! Oh yeah, I'm awesome!
Who wants more traps? I do! I do! times,
See?
good
They-
times.
Very effective.
Is that
If
a
only
river?
they could be reset a little quicker, and then also deal with those. That would be awesome.
Make the show. Every moment I live is agony. I wanna go home. This is agony.
A little present for you.
Back road.
In your face.
I want to go home.
Sweet. Aw, look who has no arm.
Oh my! Get out of my head! Which way you going?
Ugh.
Oh yeah! Out of my mind!
How it is? Oh yeah!
That one used to always give me trouble until I figured out that, yes, you could actually barricade that whole section off. Kind of, almost makes the level trivial if it wasn't for those ogres being such a pain in the butt. Let's see, do we have room for upgrades? Well, we are 2 levels away from upgrading archers. I could look into doing the extended arrow walls, those have been helpful. Lift traps, cheaper, is useful, but they're not good in every level. Since skulls are kind of a limited quantity, you do want to only have, take the upgrades you need. We're getting wall blades now. Wall blades are another, as the name suggests, wall weapon. They shoot out those blades 2 grid lines, in front of them, and they do a whole lot of damage. What you want to do is make sure that you get as many orcs as possible into that small space, because if it triggers on just one orc, all that damage is wasted. And that's actually somewhat difficult to do.
I once asked the old man what would happen if the orcs made it through the rifts into our world. He got all gloomy-faced and said, "Step out into their shattered, dead world beyond the fortress gates, and you will know." Oh, yeah. Could have just said it'd be bad.
Okay. So we have 2 doors. We have this one, goes up this long staircase, and comes this way. We have this one, comes across that long bridge and comes this way as well. We also have all of these entryways to get into the rift. What we want to do is snake all of these orcs through the long way around. Which means we're going to want barriers. Let's see, we have a bunch of curved roofs which are not good for ceiling traps. You can't place them up there. So, unfortunately, this toy, our new friend, is out. These, however, will be useful because this is only 4 units across. You know, you have 1, 2, and 3, 4. So you can actually cover quite a, you know, pretty much the entire space minus a little bit of a gap right in the middle. And so it's going to get, you know, a good portion of orcs that come across it. A horde of archers is going to be good at keeping this area down there suppressed. So we'll want archers in there. Let's see. Burning traps are always useful. And then, let's see. We will want some arrow traps. We can line these the arrow walls alongside here. Okay. Oops. Alright, got some more space. Let's see, do we want it to be a trap? We can make it a spike trap. Those are always just useful for, you know, just doing some damage. Let's do a spike trap. I might not end up putting any down, but that's okay. Alright, first order of business, we need to close off this area. 1, 2 for that. So that way all the orcs now go through here. Okay, now we can fight off most of the orcs that are coming through this direction. I don't think we need to close this off yet, but we'll need to save some money, just in case we do. Let's see where they come from. Alright, they're gonna come from up here. So...
A little present for the bridge!
Come down there. They're probably gonna come from up here again, but let's find out before we place any new traps. Coming from up here again. That's a bunch of crossbowers. Let's try one of these now. Like I said, does lots of damage.
Guess it's not my day.
Don't know where he's going.
Sweet!
But we're gonna end them all the same. Let's get that one filled in as well. And we can actually put these back here and they'll be mostly unimpeded.
Head down below.
Okay.
They're breaking through!
This will be mostly on us, as I don't have money right now.
Can I get parking validated?
I remember my university days having to do that all the time. That was annoying.
Who has parking as a friend?
No, you can't get your parking validated.
What the voices are hurting me? I don't know how much I can spend. Out of the way. When do I get my paycheck? Get your ass out of my way.
I love this job!
We have a bunch of money. Let's go ahead and fill in some of these. Ooh, wow, that was expensive. That was surprisingly expensive. We have some coming in the bottom as well. They have further to go. We'll deal with them later.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt!
Keep moving. Out of the way.
This is gonna hurt me more than it hurts you.
My way.
No, it's the other way around. Yes!
There we go.
Just for you.
Is where I wanted those. Put some more right here. No, we won't. They're only coming from the top this time. Let's put one here.
Ugh! I think I'm gonna be sick.
No ice cream. Out of my way. Get out of my way.
Ugh! I'm gonna barf.
Are we here?
Those crossbowmen can do a lot of damage if you are not prepared.
Nice!
Not prepared or aware even.
A little present for
That
you.
might actually be the better one. Okay, so we got some more coming from up here. Maybe some more traps. We do have some coming from below, so this would be a good one to start. Put up some more of those blade traps. Other side.
Good times. Good times.
There are some darkly humorous parts of this game. Okay.
That's gonna leave a mark.
1 and 2, and that's enough for now. See, they leave this little corridor, this one grid wide corridor. Not a whole lot of orcs travel down this center line. Most are going to end up on either side, so it's a good kill box, good as any. Eventually, I do want to put some archers here. They'll be exposed from back there, but it does help out clearing out this area.
Ooh, gross!
Traps can be very
Look who has
effective
no arm.
when you kill box properly. Ooh, we have an ogre.
That was fun.
Now, ogres are not necessarily frightening, but they are always concerning. Let's shore up this area just a little bit. Burn them before they get
Did
close.
you ever have too many traps? I'm thinking no.
Probably want to do the same thing, right?
Deja vu. There is no damage. What way now?
gonna leave a mark.
Self this one and do the same thing. Want to start showing up this area. So we'll focus on putting some barricades up next. Traps do their work.
Which way?
Maybe that's a little too effective.
Clean up on aisle 3.
My life has to be so
I mean, you can never really
long.
be too effective at killing Orcs. That's for sure.
Nice. That was fun.
Usually they get back to that second hall, but must have did something right this particular mission. Alright, let's check out our upgrades. We do have 12. That's not enough to upgrade the steel wall blades. They deal more damage, as if they needed to deal more damage. Okay, we got time for one more level today. So steam traps is a trap that I've seen people use effectively online. That's not my thing. It takes up a decent amount of space. It's a 2x2 space, but it doesn't do any damage. All it does is it pushes things that are on the ground up about, if you imagine the 2x2 space being a cube, it pushes them up 4 of those spaces. And so it lets you target aerial things, which will be coming out in this level, with the same stuff as the ground things, and it just lets you combine their lanes for a short time. But once it's on cooldown, it just doesn't do anything, and it's not my style. I have a different way I beat this level.
I feel more connected to the rifts every time I defend one. It's like they're filling my head with more smartness.
So we will have flyers coming in through these windows, and they're going to go across this way and straight towards the rift. We do have some archers already set up, and this is a good spot for more of them. And eventually we may need this guy, especially because there's the other door. Generally, what I like doing is we'll put a barrier here, block off the stairs so that orcs don't think they can go up this way. If I make this area convoluted enough, they may decide that pathfinding leads them here instead, or through the portal, which, hey, by the rift. Yeah, that's not something we want to do. So we're going to grab a barricade, and then we're going to grab a lot of the arrow walls. Now, all of this is way too open for those new fancy steel blades, unfortunately. You just can't really do anything with that. So we're going to be doing this one a little bit the hard way. So we're going to grab archers, barriers, these. Let's see, these are always useful. We don't have any ceilings that we can put traps on. This is all blocked off. So we're not going to worry about aerial traps. We can use spring traps to push things back this direction, but we can't accurately land down here. There's a significant chance they'll just land on these walkways, and it'll set them back, but it might not necessarily do the job. So we're probably not going to use any spring traps. Let's see. We might just get some of these just because. You know what? Wall blades might actually be useful. The reason being is, I think, and I could be wrong, and if I am, we've got the arrows to make up for it, but I think the flyers fly right up against this. If they do, we can actually put these there. They do a lot of damage, but you can see they don't go out very far. So basically, if the enemies go further to the left than this line, you're gonna have to use the arrow traps to deal with them. So I think that might work. We might not need them, but it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So we'll put a barricade there and there. Yes, that does use up a decent portion of our starting capital, but unfortunately there's not a lot we can do about that, simply because you know, we have to make sure that they don't get funneled up top. Now these arrows don't stretch all the way across. If I had the upgrade, they would. If this level doesn't go very well, I'll actually pick up the upgrade. You know, yes, we're saving up for those archer upgrades, but you know, this might be more important. For the time being, we can put.
Traps are just so cool.
We can actually put a barricade here and force them through.
Voila!
That might be useful. Tell you what, we'll add these in later, just in case. And we'll put one
Picnic
here
time!
and here, and that might be enough to work. We're gonna move these to the back. They're gonna be our emergency oh no buttons. So there's that one. There's this one. And there's one more. Okay, let's try this out.
Here they come! Clean up on aisle 3.
Yeah. See, they're pathfinding a little close to that stair, but I think they might ignore it. I have to keep an eye on my map just in case.
That's how it's done.
Let's put one more here. I want to leave money as an emergency if we're up there. I don't remember what waves the flyers come in. Oh, we come in this one. So you can see the flyers right now. So you have these big ugly guys, and they will shoot little mini fireballs at you.
Forward! Why me?
Yeah, see, they're coming way along here.
Is that a liver?
They're not coming anywhere close.
Step right this way, Mr. Orc. Ooh, that's
These guys
gotta
like
hurt.
to attack archers, which is a problem. I don't even think my arrow walls will reach out that far. That's actually a big problem.
This'll hurt.
You before me!
I think the solution might just be more archers.
That's how it's done.
seems to be a solution to a lot of problems.
What a mess!
You go first!
How you like me now?
Okay. So we're gonna get some bad guys coming in through this way. And what I want to do is basically just give them a pile of nope to run into. So we're going to block ourselves out with some of these. Tells us
Just for
where
you.
things need to be.
This'll
And
be
then I'm gonna
fun.
pull them up because they're not useful right now. So we're gonna put them
This'll hurt.
and there. Pull these up. Now I'm thinking about putting arrows along the walls here. That might be deadly enough to work. But what I like doing is putting some barricades here to funnel them along 2 more arrow walls. And we got some flyers coming in, so those archers are going to be helpful.
Mistress, all your fortunes are belong to us. Be seeing for traps.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Goodness me!
See, I need some more archers in there.
Pushing. Stay out of my mind! Forward!
The archers I have are
Stepped
insufficient
on my
for
foot.
dealing with these guys right now. So we'll need more archers.
Yes!
Just like a lot of times, more archers. Okay. We want one more barrier here. And then they'll come through this way. This is more or less taken care of.
Woohoo! Good times, good times.
Let's do another archer while I've got the chance.
Good times, good times.
Why send us?
I love the meta humor in this
Traps
game.
are just so cool.
You saw how the last wave sent
kinda
not
rule.
send us. That's great. I'm wondering about the
Good
spacing in there.
times, good times.
That spacing might not be correct. We'll take a look at it during the next
Watch my
respite.
stride, human! Off my foot.
That is, traps are just so cool.
Every moment I live.
Ow!
That's fine, we have a respite coming up.
Yeah!
So, alright, so this is as effective as it's gonna be. I'm gonna go ahead and put an arrow wall
This
here
just doesn't seem fair.
to hopefully deal with a couple of the weak ones before they set off that. Okay, so here's my spacing issue. Actually, I think that's about as good as it's going to get. We don't want to put one here because no one's ever going to walk that way unless we put some barricades.
Oh yeah.
Let's do that.
This
There
just
we go.
doesn't seem fair.
No, it forces them to walk along this way, and eventually we can actually delete this one now because they can't get through here. Gives us a little bit more money. I'm tempted to put a burner here as well. Yeah, let's
Something
do
for
that
your
because
face.
We've got to come through this entire area, and it's not healthy for you. Let's get some more flyers coming in this round.
Flyers in the air.
Don't want to fall into the acid pits yourself there.
Don't hit me!
Fortunately, some archers are preoccupying my archers. I think we'll need to put a couple extra up there. Yeah, see that works.
Show me the target. My bow is yours.
Sweet.
Need a little bit more.
Ogre sighted.
Put one down there, but we need some more here now instead. Because there's an ogre in there. Alright, time to go to work.
Don't hit me! Not funny! I'm comfortable like the chicken.
There we go. Let's grab this potion. Just a little bit of health. Let's put another one of these here. Because they have to go through that
Set
way.
it and forget it.
And then let's put one here.
Look out! Flyers!
And as soon as I have enough money... this is actually the last wave, so I might not have to worry about it.
What a mess. In your face.
Alright, we got some more flyers to deal with.
Let's do it again.
Alright. Well, we didn't end up using those wall blades, but that's alright. Ah, we only got another 4-star though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and replay this one and be a little bit more efficient with my placement. I don't know exactly how they're doing the scores. I don't know if they get scored based on how far they go or how strong they are, or combos, things like that. But we're going to go ahead and 5-star that in the background. As far as upgrades are concerned, these would be probably useful, but I think I'm going to go ahead and go for the Guardians after all, because at least this level's doable without it. So we're going to upgrade that, and this is going to conclude this episode of Warlocks Play Orcs Must Die. Once again, I am Pickles, and we will be seeing you next time.